Have you ever wondered about the epic celestial battle between Michael and Lucifer? What really happened during the war in heaven? The ancient texts teem with tales of this heavenly conflict. They speak of angels clashing, of rebellion and expulsion. But what is the truth behind these stories? From the Book of Enoch to the Book of Revelation, from Christian tradition to Islamic belief, there are countless interpretations and beliefs. Join us as we delve into the ancient texts, interpretations, and beliefs surrounding this heavenly clash. Our story begins with the war in heaven, a profound event that forever changed the celestial realm. This cosmic battle was led by none other than Michael, the Archangel, a figure of divine power and righteousness. Against him was Lucifer, the morning star, who had succumbed to pride and rebellion. From the ancient texts of the Book of Enoch, we glean insights into this celestial conflict. Lucifer, once a cherubim of high rank, rallied a third of the heavenly host in rebellion against the divine order. Michael, the defender of righteousness and the protector of the weak, was tasked to quell this rebellion. The Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verses 7 to 10, provides us a vivid account of this war. It tells us of Michael and his angels, who fought against the dragon and his rebellious angels. But the dragon was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon Lucifer, who leads the whole world astray, was hurled down to the earth. The accounts suggest that a third of the heavenly host was cast down with Lucifer. These fallen angels, stripped of their heavenly glory, were doomed to wander the earth, becoming what we now refer to as demons. Christian tradition is rich with stories of angels being cast down from heaven. These accounts, coupled with the details from the Book of Enoch and the Book of Revelation, paint a clear picture of Satan's role as the instigator of rebellion and chaos. Michael, on the other hand, emerges as the divine warrior, the champion of celestial order and justice. This war marked the beginning of an eternal conflict, one that would continue to reverberate through the ages. The echoes of this celestial war can still be heard today in the spiritual battles that rage within and around us. For as long as there is good and evil, the echoes of this war will continue to resonate, reminding us of the eternal struggle between light and darkness. To understand the depth of this conflict, we must examine the accounts provided in the Book of Enoch. This ancient text illustrates a vivid confrontation between Michael, the Archangel, and the rebellious angels, led by Lucifer, later known as Satan. According to the Book of Enoch, Lucifer and his followers, discontented with their heavenly positions, sought to challenge the divine order. They rebelled against the Creator, sparking a celestial war of epic proportions. Michael, the chief of angels, was tasked with maintaining the divine order and expelling the rebellious angels. This heavenly battle was not merely a struggle for power, but a battle of ideologies. Lucifer, intoxicated by pride and ambition, sought to elevate himself above all, even God. His rebellion was a direct challenge to the divine order and the Creator's authority. On the other hand, Michael stood as the epitome of loyalty and obedience, upholding the divine will and combating the forces of chaos. The Book of Enoch portrays Michael as a powerful warrior, leading the celestial hosts with courage and resolve. He was not only a leader but also a protector, safeguarding the divine order from the destructive ambitions of the rebellious angels. Lucifer's rebellion was not without consequence. His actions led to his downfall, and he was cast out of heaven along with his followers, stripped of their celestial glory. The once revered angel became a symbol of deceit and rebellion, forever condemned to roam the earth as Satan. Michael's victory over the rebellious angels was not just a triumph over a physical enemy, but a victory of order over chaos, of good over evil. It was a testament to the power of obedience and loyalty, values that Michael embodied as the Archangel. These ancient texts provide us with a glimpse into the complex relationships and power dynamics at play in the heavenly realm. They reveal a tale of pride and ambition, loyalty and obedience, order and chaos. The conflict between Michael and Lucifer serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of challenging the divine order and the power of steadfast loyalty. The Book of Revelation provides us with a vivid account of this celestial clash. The 12th chapter of Revelation, verses 7 to 10, recounts a war in heaven. Michael the Archangel leads an army of angels against the dragon, a symbol of Satan and his followers. The dragon and his angels resist, but they are not powerful enough to hold their place in heaven. They lose their ground, and the great dragon, the ancient serpent known as the devil or Satan, is hurled down to earth. Now this dragon is not alone in his fall. He is accompanied by his angels, those who chose to follow him in his rebellion against heaven. Their loss is not a mere physical displacement, it is a spiritual downfall, a divine expulsion from the heavenly realms. The dragon, identified as the devil or Satan, is described as leading the whole world astray. This suggests a role of deception, a manipulative influence that seeks to divert humanity from the path of righteousness. It paints a picture of a cosmic antagonist, a powerful force of evil that operates on a global scale. This war in heaven, as narrated in Revelation, is more than a simple battle. It represents a pivotal moment in cosmic history, a turning point in the divine narrative. It marks the transition of Satan from a heavenly being to an earthbound entity, from an angel of light to a prince of darkness. Yet, in this account, there is no mention of the number of angels that fell with Lucifer. The text simply refers to them as his angels, indicating that they were numerous and that they shared in his rebellion and subsequent fall. The aftermath of this celestial war is not explicitly described. However, the fate of the fallen angels can be inferred from the overall narrative. They were cast down to earth along with their leader, sentenced to a state of spiritual exile. This passage leaves us with many questions. Who were these followers of Lucifer, and what became of them after their expulsion? Let's turn our attention to the angels who chose to follow Lucifer in his rebellion. The Book of Revelation hints at a staggering number, suggesting that a third of all heavenly angels followed Lucifer in his insurrection. But what became of these celestial beings post their expulsion? The prevalent belief, deeply entrenched in Christian tradition, is that these fallen angels metamorphosed into demons. This transformation wasn't a mere change of form or appearance, but a profound alteration of their essence. Stripped of their heavenly glory, they were now creatures of darkness, embodiments of evil and corruption. This theory finds its roots in the scriptures themselves. In the Book of Revelation, the dragon, identified as Satan or the devil, is said to have swept a third of the stars out of the sky with its tail. These stars are commonly interpreted as the angels who were cast down to earth, along with Lucifer. As we delve deeper into religious texts, we find further evidence. In the second epistle of Peter, the apostle speaks of angels who sinned and were cast into hell, bound with chains of darkness. The metamorphosis of these angels into demons isn't merely a physical transformation, but a spiritual one as well. Once beings of light and goodness, they were now associated with darkness and evil. Their purpose shifted from serving God to opposing him, from promoting harmony to sowing discord. The fallen angels' new role as demons is not limited to Christianity. Other religious traditions, including Islam and certain branches of Judaism, also acknowledge the existence of fallen angels or similar entities. In these traditions, they serve a similar purpose, acting as adversaries to the divine and leading humanity astray. These fallen angels, now demons, continue to play a significant role in various religious traditions. They serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of rebellion against the divine and the destructive power of pride and ambition. Whether seen as literal beings or symbolic representations of evil, their influence is profound and far-reaching. What drove Lucifer, one of the most powerful archangels, to rebel against the divine order? Imagine an entity of immense power, radiating with divine light, choosing to defy the very source of his brilliance. In the heart of Lucifer's rebellion, we find a complex interplay of motives. Pride, often considered the original sin, was a key factor. Lucifer, endowed with extraordinary beauty and wisdom, allowed these gifts to inflate his ego. He began to covet the adoration and authority that were God's alone. This vanity, this insatiable desire for supremacy, was a seed that grew into a tree of rebellion, casting a shadow over his divine purpose. Yet pride was not the only driving force. In certain religious beliefs, it suggested that Lucifer's rebellion was sparked by his refusal to bow down to mankind. According to these interpretations, when God created humans, he commanded all angels to pay them homage. Lucifer, considering himself superior, refused, arguing that a creature of fire, as he was, should not bow to a being made of mere clay. This viewpoint contrasts sharply with the Islamic tradition, which narrates a similar instance where Iblis, the Islamic equivalent of Satan, refuses to bow to Adam. However, in this case it's not a matter of pride but a test of obedience to God's command. In both instances, the refusal to bow signifies a defiant assertion of self-worth over divine decree, but the motives and implications differ significantly. As we peel back the layers of Lucifer's rebellion, we also find a gradual distancing from God. This wasn't a sudden revolt, but a slow and steady drift away from divine light into the abyss of darkness. This perspective was echoed by Origen of Alexandria, who suggested that Lucifer's fall was not a singular event, but the culmination of a series of rebellious acts. Lucifer's pride and rebellion set the stage for a cosmic conflict that continues to this day. His actions have rippled through time, leaving a trail of discord and strife. It's a reminder that pride and disobedience, once allowed to take root, can lead even the most divine beings down a path of destruction. Origen of Alexandria presents us with another perspective on Satan's rebellion. This early Christian scholar posits the theory that Lucifer's defiance was not a sudden or impulsive act, but rather the culmination of a gradual distancing from God. In the cosmos of Origen's thought, all beings were created equal, but their proximity to God was determined by their moral choices. Lucifer, initially close to God as the most radiant of angels, began to drift away, seduced by pride and ambition. This was not an overnight transformation, but a slow, insidious progression. Picture a vessel slowly filling with water, drop by drop. Each drop represents a choice, a decision made in defiance of God's will. Over time, these drops accumulate, and the vessel begins to weigh heavy. Lucifer, once the bearer of light, found himself laden with the weight of his transgressions, distancing himself from the divine light that once illuminated his being. Origen's interpretation paints a picture of a Lucifer that is not inherently evil, but a being who allowed his free will to lead him down a path of rebellion. His distancing from God was not a physical journey, but a spiritual one, marked by a series of choices that slowly tarnished his radiant essence. But the question arises, why didn't Lucifer stop? Why didn't he realize the error of his ways and return to God? Perhaps pride blinded him to the consequences of his actions, or perhaps he was too far gone, lost in the abyss of his own rebellion. Origen's writings do not provide clear answers, but they do offer a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride and the perils of distancing oneself from God. The significance of Origen's theory lies in its implications. It suggests that Lucifer's fall was not a singular event, but a process that began with a single choice and ended with a cataclysmic rebellion. A process that serves as a stark reminder of the power of free will and the profound consequences it can have when misused. This gradual distancing from God reveals a complex and nuanced view of Lucifer's fall. As we delve deeper into the motives behind Satan's rebellion, we uncover layers of complexity that challenge our understanding of good and evil. The declaration that all were to be subject to God's Son, the Messiah, further fueled Satan's rebellion. This decree from the divine was not just a simple proclamation. It was a statement that would ripple through the heavens, creating waves of discord and dissent. Imagine the scene, the Creator, the Supreme Being, announcing that his Son, the Messiah, would hold dominion over all. Every angel, every celestial being was to bow down to him. This was a decree that shook the very foundations of heaven, and at the heart of the rebellion was Lucifer, the morning star. Lucifer, who was once a favored angel, found this decree unbearable. His pride, his arrogance, his self-obsession all came to a head. The idea that he, a magnificent angel, should bow down to a lesser being was unthinkable. His ego refused to accept this divine hierarchy. But why was this so? Why was the idea of subjection to the Messiah so repugnant to Lucifer? The answer lies in the nature of his pride. It was not just a case of inflated ego, but a deep ingrained belief in his own superiority. He saw himself as second to none, not even to God's own Son. And so this declaration served as the catalyst for his rebellion. His defiance wasn't just against the Messiah, but against the divine order itself. It was a direct challenge to God's authority, a blatant disregard for his command. But it was not just Lucifer who found this decree intolerable. Many angels, swayed by his charismatic leadership, joined his rebellion. They too refused to accept the Messiah as their superior. They too chose to challenge the divine order. This divine decree then was not just a simple declaration, it was a test of loyalty, a test of faith. Those who accepted it affirmed their allegiance to God. Those who rejected it chose pride and arrogance over divine obedience. This divine decree would prove to be a significant turning point in the celestial conflict. It marked the beginning of a cosmic war, a battle between good and evil, between humility and pride, between obedience and rebellion. A battle that continues to this day. The Catholic tradition speaks of a great conflict at the end of times, echoing the original battle in heaven. This assertion isn't unique to Catholicism. Many Christian faiths hold eschatological viewpoints that envision a final cosmic showdown between good and evil, mirroring the initial celestial conflict between the Archangel Michael and Lucifer. The Book of Revelation, the last book of the New Testament, presents a vivid symbolic narrative about the end of times. It describes a war in heaven where Michael and his angels force out the dragon and its angels, resulting in their expulsion to earth. This expulsion is seen as the beginning of the end, the precursor to the ultimate confrontation between good and evil. This eschatological perspective shares a common thread with the initial celestial conflict. The parallels are striking. Just as Lucifer's pride and rebellion led to the first conflict, the final battle also stems from the continued rebellion of the devil and his angels, now on earth, against God's sovereignty. But what does this mean for humanity? Well, in the eschatological context, this war signifies the ultimate triumph of good over evil. It's the denouement of the cosmic drama, where the forces of righteousness finally overcome the forces of wickedness. The fallen angels, now demons, face their final defeat, and humanity is liberated from the grip of evil. The eschatological narrative reaffirms the Christian belief in divine justice and the eventual victory of good over evil. It's a tale of hope and redemption, where the Archangel Michael, God's warrior, once again leads the charge against the forces of darkness. However, it's crucial to remember that these are interpretations of symbolic and allegorical texts. They're open to various interpretations and should not be taken as literal predictions of future events. In the end, these narratives remind us of the eternal struggle between good and evil, a theme prevalent in many religions and cultures. They underscore the power of choice, the consequences of rebellion, and the hope for redemption and transformation. This future conflict is believed to be a final confrontation between good and evil. It's a reaffirmation of the belief that in the end, good will triumph over evil and peace will reign supreme. The phrase, "the devil and his angels," has a rich and complex history. Originating from the biblical narrative, the phrase encapsulates the cosmic battle that raged in heaven, leading to the fall of Lucifer and his angelic followers. The term devil refers to Lucifer, once a high-ranking angel in heaven who, driven by pride and ambition, rebelled against the divine order. The phrase "his angels" relates to the one-third of the heavenly host who chose to align themselves with Lucifer's rebellion, as chronicled in the Book of Revelation. The phrase carries significant weight, symbolizing the rebellion and subsequent fall from divine grace. It serves to remind us of the eternal struggle between light and darkness, good and evil, and the choices that each being, celestial or otherwise, has to make. The devil and his angels are often portrayed as the adversaries of God and his faithful angels. This dichotomy is central to many religious and philosophical narratives, underscoring the conflict between the divine order and those who seek to disrupt it. In the context of the war in heaven, the devil and his angels were the instigators of the conflict. They opposed the divine hierarchy, led by the Archangel Michael, and sought to usurp control of heaven. Their rebellion, however, was quashed, and they were expelled from heaven, cast down to roam the earth. The aftermath of this celestial conflict is believed to have resulted in the devil and his angels becoming demons, entities associated with evil and chaos. This transformation is seen as a consequence of their rebellion and their expulsion from the divine realm. This phrase serves as a powerful reminder of the profound impact of the war in heaven. The devil and his angels embody the concept of free will and the potential consequences of choosing a path of rebellion and disobedience. The story of their fall serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the eternal conflict between good and evil and the ramifications of our choices. As we've seen, different religious traditions have unique perspectives on this celestial conflict. The Latter-day Saints Church, for example, brings in a fresh perspective. In their theology, Lucifer, also known as the Lightbringer, was a brother of Jesus in the premortal life. He proposed a plan of salvation where no soul would be lost, but this was at the expense of human agency. God the Father rejected this plan in favor of one proposed by Jesus, which favored free will, even if it meant some souls would be lost. This rejection led to Lucifer's rebellion and subsequent expulsion from heaven, along with a third of the host of heaven who supported him. In this viewpoint, the conflict between Michael and Lucifer is essentially a struggle between agency and compulsion, a theme that continues to play out in human history. It's a narrative that emphasizes the importance of choice and the inherent risks that come with freedom. On the other hand, the Seventh-day Adventist theology presents yet another perspective. They see the war in heaven as a real historical event, but also as a symbol of the ongoing conflict between Christ and Satan here on earth. For them, Michael is another name for Christ himself, not a separate entity. This interpretation brings the battle into a more immediate, personal context. It's not just an event that happened long ago in a distant celestial realm, but an ongoing struggle in the hearts and minds of individuals. In this viewpoint, the battle between Michael and Lucifer is a battle between the selfless love of Christ and the self-serving ambitions of Satan. It's a reminder to every believer to choose sides carefully, for the war is not just about celestial beings, but about the direction of our own souls as well. These varying viewpoints reveal the multifaceted nature of the battle between Michael and Lucifer. It's not just a simple tale of good versus evil, but a complex narrative with profound implications for our understanding of freedom, choice, and the nature of love and selflessness. We've journeyed through ancient texts, religious beliefs, and varying interpretations of the celestial conflict. We've delved into the war in heaven, examining the dramatic confrontation between Michael and Lucifer and their followers. We've investigated the cryptic passages of Revelation and the Book of Enoch, offering us a glimpse into the cosmic struggle. We've pondered the motives behind Satan's rebellion, from pride and refusal to bow to mankind to a gradual distancing from God. We've contrasted these theories with the Islamic account of Iblis refusing to bow to Adam and Origin of Alexandria's thoughts on Satan's gradual alienation. We've explored the declaration by God for all to be subject to his Son, the Messiah, another potential catalyst for Satan's rebellion. We've delved into the eschatological viewpoints, linking the heavenly war to the great conflict at the end of times, as referenced by St. John and the Catholic tradition. We've analyzed the origins and meanings behind the phrase "the devil and his angels" and discussed the fate of the angels who fell with Lucifer. We've compared these perspectives with the viewpoints of the LDS Church and Seventh-day Adventist theology, widening our understanding. As we conclude, we are left with a deeper understanding of the epic battle between Michael and Lucifer, a battle that continues to shape our beliefs and our world. We've traversed the realms of faith and interpretation, reminding us that our understanding of the divine is an ever-evolving journey.